Welcome, everyone, to the Week 13 Hambone Fantasy Football Update. Yeah, real sorry about missing last week, and I almost missed this week, but I knew I had to get it done, so I'm just out driving around, and I thought I'd fit in a video real quick. Wow, we're in the final week. Going into Week 14... No, we're not talking about playoffs because we have an extra week this week, so that's exciting. Let's quickly go to some highlights first. Let's see where to start. Let's do Saltwater Rednecks defeating my Hambone Burger Kings 173-147. They, of course, were led by Greg Kittle. By way of 8 receptions on 129 yards and a touchdown. That now puts both the Saltwater Rednecks and HBK into a tie for the second place of the World Division, and both locking up playoff berths for both teams. So congratulations to them. While we're looking at the World League, I also want to congratulate 20 Minutes with Tebow, who now has locked in the number one, both the division, the World Championship division, and then also the first seed in the playoffs with their 11-2 record. Fantastic job. All right, more highlights. Let's say, how about Nowhere Elder Dragons defeating Mr. Just in Time by way, 148-129. That they, of course, were led by Kyler Murray, who had 123 yards and 4 total touchdowns. Kyler Murray, he had 33 fantasy points for himself. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan this year. He actually is basically keeping me alive in my other league. So fantastic job there. That puts the Elder Dragons tied for first in the U.S. Championship Division with a record of 8-5. Mr. Just in Time has since fallen out of contention. So, bummer there. Next up, the Spicolis defeat the Kickin' Chickens 154-128. Led by Jonathan Taylor, who had 34 big fantasy points by way of 143 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Spicolis now have the lead in the TV Championship Division. And I think it comes down to this week as to whether or not they win that division. There are a whole bunch of playoff scenarios right now. The cutoff line right now, well, okay, let me go over this first. Who is in? Basically, we have 12 teams in the league. Teams that have playoff berths right now, who I can welcome in, and I've sent individual texts, but teams that are in the playoffs this minute are 20 Minutes with Tebow, Saltwater Rednecks, the Hambone Burger Kings, Nowhere Elder Dragons, Leland Lizards, the Spicolis. Okay, so there's 6 teams that are in. Seeding is still to be determined, but that's fine. Teams that are out, and it's not completely over for them. I'll go over that in a minute. But teams that are currently out: Mr. Just in Time, Team Bears, and the Kickin' Chickens. That leaves 3 teams, and they're fighting for 2 spots. And those bubble teams are the Albino Rhinos, the Silver Bullets, and Super Saucy Spaghetti. I can go over the ridiculous who needs to do what and whatnot. If you really want to know, I could look it up and text you or explain it to you. I think I've talked to all of those teams individually. But currently the cutoff is a record of 6 and 7. Only one of those 6 and 7 teams are getting in. If both 6 and 7 teams win and Rhino loses, then the Rhino could be out. So So that's basically what's going on. So we have 6 teams in, and then we have 3 teams battling for 2 spots. To go over now, for the teams that are out, and the one team that's going to be left out of here, it's not entirely over. There's still a consolation bracket where they can compete and play for the right to have the first pick in next year's draft, which the Spicolis won last year. So there's still reason to play. There's still a reason to be competitive going into the postseason. So be sure to look at that. The cutoff for trades, I believe, is today. I'd have to go back and check that. It goes into week 14 is when it stops. What else? Oh, bowl games. This is a fun little game I like to play every year. I think I started last year before last. Looking for names for bowl games. So these are our postseason games. I like to name them. I used to give them just ridiculous sponsorships over the past years, and I thought it'd be fun to include everyone else in the process. So here's the trick, and you can send in more than one. That's just fine. Name the last business you dealt with and the last thing you ate. So, for example, if I just went to the post office and have since eaten a salad, my bowl game would be the United States Postal Service brings you the salad bowl, that sort of thing. So, send those to me via text. I promise to try to use them all. We have plenty of postseason games to go through. I'll try to associate you with yours. And that is about it. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about your playoff scenarios, please let me know. I will be sure to go over those with you. And until then, I'll see you next week. Thank you for playing again. And here's to the playoffs. All right, have a great one. Bye.